Broadcasting live from Youngville, North Carolina and Ontario, Canada, this is Got Mead Live, a weekly show where Vicky Rowe and AJ Aramutz bring you the mead news, meadery info, and mead-making discussions from all over, talking with mead makers, mead owners, industry mavens, and influencers. This is Got Mead Live, a weekly podcast about mead and the people who love it and where the mead world is going. And now here are your hosts, Got Mead owner Vicky Rowe and mead and wine maker AJ Aramutz.
I really have to work with him on getting that updated. So live from the den of the puppies. Hang on, I got somebody coming in here. There we go. I think we lost you there, Kirubell. Hang on a second. All right, from the den of the puppies of the apocalypse in northern Michigan, the bunny pen in Ottawa, Canada, and the palatial retirement estate that is way below zero today, it has Got Mead Live. Welcome to the show. I want to thank all the folks who have renewed or signed up for Got Mead Patron membership in the past couple weeks. You are appreciated. To do the show, we depend on you to help us get there. That's how we pay for the things they make us give the money for. So if you are considering becoming a patron member, it's only $30 a year. You get access to the Got Mead Patron Facebook group, the patron boards on the forum for just 50 cents a week, and you get access to all kinds of really amazing recipes and information and a whole lot of people that know their stuff. So it's definitely worth looking at. And again, thanks to all the folks who have gotten us here and keep us here so that we can keep bringing this to you guys. To listen live, you can find us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook is where we broadcast live. All previous feeds are going to be on the website and on various podcasting platforms all over the place. Twitch is twitch.tv/meadwench. YouTube, just search Got Mead Live because it's a long, complicated crap load of stuff there. On Twitter, it is Real Got Mead, and Facebook, our group is facebook.com/GotMead. That's the main page. So we are live in all those places. You can find us online, obviously, at facebook.com/GotMead, and facebook.com/groups/GotMead is our main group. We do ask a couple of questions to help us keep the bots and the spammers out. So please answer those and we'll let you right in. And of course, feel free to get in on the chat on whatever platform you're watching on, and we see it on our end. So we can, we can definitely take a look at what you're sending in. If you want to send us information, suggestions, ideas, we're always looking for new people to talk with, criticisms, what have you. You can go to gotmead.com, put your mouse over Got Mead Live Radio Show, but don't click that, click on the drop down, and that will take you to a form that comes to all three of us so that we can get your information and get that taken care of. So I want to get in a shout out to our lovely sponsors, Honeybrook Craft Meadery, calling all mead lovers and adventure seekers. Look no further than Honeybrook Craft Meadery for your go-to destination for wonderful, light, and refreshing mead. With a location in Castle Rock, Colorado, and the new Garden Cottage experience coming this spring to Littleton, Colorado. Go to honeybrook.com, that's HONNI brook.com, to review the tap list, upcoming events, and to order online. They are on Vino Shipper, and if you aren't in the area, you should definitely consider trying their mead. And they are, get them on Vino Shipper, but their stuff is good. And also, I want to shout out to the Honey Jar. Crafting excellent mead requires excellent honey. Luckily, the Honey Jar is here to help. Since 2005, the Honey Jar has been supplying delicious, pure, raw honey in easy-to-handle 12-pound pails for hobbyist brewers around the United States. Visit us at thehoneyjarhome.com/gotmead. So that being done, what are we drinking?
I'll start. Tea, hot, decaf.
Anti-inflammatory week again?
Yeah, anti-inflammatory week again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just drinking a glass of water with lemon.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey. I'm forwarding a link to Roe.
What was that?
He's sending the link to Ro, who's trying to get in.
Oh, Raul's trying to get in. Okay.
So you go ahead, Vicky. I'll jump in.
Okay. All right. So I cracked open. Kira was nice enough to send me some of his mead, and I've got a bottle, Sabotage. And this is a 13.6% made with orange blossom honey and hops. And it's got a very assertive honey aroma. It just jumps right out at you, right out of the glass. So, and there's just a touch of bitter and earthy notes in there. Once you get to tasting it, this is a sweet mead, and the hops are sort of subtle. They're coming in more on the back end. There's an earthy thread that runs through this that I like, and overall, it's a very nice, straightforward mead. I like it. Thanks,
Thank you.
Kira.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds. I think you described it perfectly.
Well, in my case, I pulled a barrel-aged Bosé out of the cellar tonight. This was made by Carlos before he went commercial and opened Texas Longhouse Meadery. It has aromatics of honey, caramel, coffee, and alcohol with a light complementary vanilla and oak background. The flavor opens with a light bitterness and a sharp alcoholic bite on the tip of the tongue. Medium-low sweetness, and the honey is pretty subdued in favor of the barrel character. But after a moment, it opens up with some nicely balanced coffee, medium-low acid, and lingering oaky finish, and it's going down a little too easy. Meadery's up and running full tilt, so it's worth checking Vineyard Pepper, selecting the catalog if you get a chance.
I don't know that I got to try that one before he went commercial.
Yeah,
So.
it's pretty good. It's the nose is pretty complex, and the flavor, it's a lot drier than I anticipated that it would be. And I'm sure that's the barrel, drying it out, which it did some really nice things in here. And it really is drinking very easily. So be careful. Who knows what I'll say later tonight.
Yeah, right. Very cool. So yeah, it's I like this. This is nice. I'm looking forward to. I'm going to take the other one with me when I go up to Minnesota next month, Kira. So I'll share it with the gang up there.
And I think the other one. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say when she said she was coming to Minnesota with that, that's awesome because we have in our little community here we have a number of people who make Tez. So
that's great.
That'll be pretty fun to get a commercial example.
Right, and that's great because a lot of times what I like to do is actually let older Ethiopian or East African Eritrean people try the tej, so I could get an understanding of hey, are we really on point with taste wise? So that's great that if you could really sample with the community and see how they feel about it.
Well, this community is not very Ethiopian, I will say that. but we have a pretty strong mead making community, and they're all adventurous and kind of all over the map in terms of what we make, and a lot of them really like to get into it. Now, one of the guys, Paul Johnson, was married to a woman who is from Ethiopia. So that's why he started making Tez, and he's been doing that for quite a while. So I expect he'll be one of the people who'll have an opportunity to give this a try, and it'll be interesting to see what he has to say.
I'll make sure of it.
Yeah.
Great. And I think the other bottle you have is the Axum.
Yeah. You sent me the Saba and the Axum.
Okay, yeah, I could send you more of both too, just in case you need some more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be taking what you sent me, or whatever I've got left of it is going with me up to the Valkyrie's Horn competition because I'm a judge, so I'll be taking it up to share with the gang. Did you enter the comp?
Yeah, we did. I just have to send the samples over, so I plan on doing it.
Get going. Friday's your deadline.
Yeah.
It has to be there by Fridays.
Right. So tomorrow.
Entered because I did not see your stuff come in.
It should have been under the Heritage Winery.
Well, right, but
yeah.
What I'm saying is I did not get a packet. So
yeah, because he hasn't sent it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going out tomorrow for sure.
Okay. That's plenty. It'll be fine. No worries.
It'll be able to get there from Jersey by then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the difference between the two is really just the honey. we use a wildflower for the axum, and then the Saba, we use the orange blossom.
Okay.
And where are you sourcing the orange blossom from?
Actually, both honeys we source from. I believe you guys probably know probably the bigger artisanal honey suppliers in the U.S. Bee Seasonal.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
Bee Seasonal's
Yeah.
great, and their honey is top shelf.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
all use
Exactly.
their honey. Yes, indeed.
Right. Exactly. So.
So then that means you probably got Mexican orange.
Exactly. Yep. That
Nice.
Mexican
That's the
orange blossom.
better, in my opinion.
Yep.
That's the better orange blossom.
That's my favorite of the three main varieties that we have access to here in the United States. So, yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Same. Yep. I was gonna go with the orange blossom from Florida, but the one from Mexico is it's really nice.
It's
It's well
brighter, it's
balanced.
more floral. Yeah,
Yep.
it's lovely. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and that's really our goal with the Tej is being that it's a traditional mead. We want to keep it, let the honey really shine through.
Right.
Yeah, well, it really does.
Well, it looks like Raul made it
Raul's
in.
made it
So
in. Yeah, come on
maybe
out.
say hello.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you guys?
Hey,
I'm pretty
Raul.
good. Yeah, we've got the not really the four corners. It's like there's Kevin in Minnesota, AJ over in Ontario, me up in Michigan, and Raul's in Mexico.
And we got the East Coast too. So
yeah.
well, yeah. I mean Jersey,
We
right?
do. Yeah,
Yep.
Jersey.
Yep.
Well, he's
Jersey.
he took over
Three of us are Eastern time zones, so I don't know how much that matters.
Yeah, right. I think Raul's like 2 hours behind us. So
Yeah.
So actually, we know you took over the space that Melovino was in. So maybe give us a little background on how that came about and what was involved in moving in there.
Yeah, so it's quite a funny story. So for years, Vicky, we were talking right before we got started here, but my father started making Tej in the late 90s. I want to say 97, 98.
sounds about right.
He created Sheba Tej. And that was a brand that he went up to Brotherhood and gave them a formula or a recipe. He brought my grandmother and my aunt up to the winery there and formulated Sheba Tej with the winemakers there. After a couple of years, he stepped away and created his own two brands because he had two partners that he stepped away from. And he created Saba and Axum, and I would say that was early 2000s. And he kind of bounced around. He left Brotherhood and bounced around to a couple of different wineries. We went out to Seattle or Washington at Bon Air Winery. We did some work back in upstate New York at Montezuma, Syracuse. We worked out at Lakeland Winery. And then we stayed at Palea for years until recently, I would say 2022, 2023. Palea sold their vineyard and their winery. So we stepped away and, we started looking for different meaderies. At this point, mead had become pretty big, I'd say. So instead of just wineries, now there were meaderies. So I got involved with my dad, 2018-ish. Really I left my job in 2018. I was working in finance. And I joined my dad and started making mead at Lakeland, and then we went to Palea. And then in 2022, when Palea closed, we started venturing out. I was looking online for different meaderies. I didn't even know about Melovino, to be honest with you. And my dad knew about Melovino because he was more involved in making the mead and in the industry as a whole. But my fiance now had bought a townhouse literally behind Melovino.
That just blows my
And
mind. When you told
yeah,
me that, I was like, really? Yeah, he's like over the fence from.
yeah, I'm literally over the fence. And so one day I'm looking out the window. At this point, I'm still looking for a new place to make our mead for us. And I see a sign that says Melovino, and I Google it, and it says Meadery. and I couldn't believe it. So I ran around, went inside, and it was full blown. They have the stainless steel tanks. They had the tasting room, everything. And it was then when I finally spoke with Sergio, and we talked. He knew about my dad, and my dad knew him, and so it was a relationship that I guess they already had established. So I asked, could you possibly do this for us? And he was getting out of the business, and he said, look, if you can come up with the resources and want to take this on, then I'll be here for you to help you and establish this winery or this meadery. So that's kind of what happened. I got lucky, and I took the opportunity, when struck when iron's hot, I guess what you would say.
Awesome.
And it's been about 2 years now, where we actually have the autonomy on where the honey's coming from, the hops, the bottles, the corks, everything's kind of in our hands, and we're at the forefront of it. So it's been a journey, to say the least.
Not bad.
But yeah, Sergio's been great. His brother Mitch has been a great help to me. Been learning every day, to be honest with you.
So you were saying with Brotherhood that your dad had taken recipes from your grandmother and your aunt. Did you say?
Yeah. So my grandmother and aunt flew from Ethiopia specifically for this reason, to help bring over the recipe that my family's been making for years back home in Ethiopia. So we went up to Brotherhood. I was probably under 10 years old, and they created Sheba Tej there at Brotherhood. So Brotherhood, I believe, still makes Sheba.
They do, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not
I
sure
actually
what
got a
recipe.
bottle there when I visited them, and it was in 2005 or 6, something like that. I went up to speak to a brewing club in New York City, and
Okay.
they were like, they left me at loose ends because before the meeting was in the evening, and then they were like, well, we've got to work during the day. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take it. so I drove up into the hills and went to see Brotherhood, and it was pretty cool. I mean, the
Yeah.
Tej was good, and believe they were using geisha at that point still.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what recipe they have, because back home in Ethiopia, every family makes a style of tej, I would
Mm-hmm.
say.
It's like Indians and
Usually.
chai.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Usually it's somebody's grandmother or mother making a batch. And so recipes could change depending on how much, honey to water ratio, or how much geisha you're putting inside the batch,
Mm-hmm.
how long you're fermenting for. So it's very minimal change, but there is a slight change between recipes. And I think what my grandmother brought over, we've stuck to that, um, as far as fermenting, and how much hops to use, and honey to water ratio.
Okay. So now what you're doing now, is this based on family practices and how it was made?
Yeah, as far as ratios go, yeah. The only
Okay.
difference is now we obviously have modern technology, so we do ferment in stainless steel tanks. We do have the temperature control on the tanks, which helps fermentation time. Back home, it could take anywhere between 1 month to 6 months, maybe even a year. It's kind of depending on the weather outside, which could also change the taste. Um, Being that we're making commercial volume here, or quantities, that we want to kind of have some consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having that temperature control and those ratios down to a science really, really helps out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you were saying before we came on live, that we were talking about geisha and a lovely TTB.
Right. Yes.
So you guys got caught in that mess when you redesigned, huh? And went through
So
label
not
changes and whatnot.
Yeah, we never really had a problem with TTB, as far as our recipe, because we our recipe was uh, put into TTB, I would say early 2000s. So back then, geisha was allowed, so we never had a problem. It was more recently, when we changed the label, I would say 2019, 2020, when we changed one of the labels, is when we actually have to get the formula reapproved, and that's when we kind of a red flag kind of came up and said, you can't use geisha. So we decided to move over to more of a domestic hop.
Okay.
But
What
but
can we ask you what hop you're using, or is that proprietary?
I would say
It's fine to
it's
not tell us if
yeah. I would rather not.
okay,
Just
not a problem. We always ask intrusive questions, and it's perfectly okay to go, yeah, I can't share that. That's fine.
just out of respect for my dad and how
Yeah.
hard he's worked all these years, and where he's got to. So I don't want to relinquish that just quite yet.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Are you sourcing your hops through like a big place or local or
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the bigger suppliers of hops, I would say,
okay?
in the States, in Washington.
Interesting. I'm curious, because I mean, I've the only time I made Tej, I made it with geisha because you can buy geisha on Amazon.
Right.
I'm not making it commercially, so TTB doesn't care. But which still doesn't make sense to me because if it's not GRAS, then why should I be able to buy it?
Right. There's so many questions in regards
God, I
to
know the
this.
inconsistencies are just heinous.
Because the government
Right.
is helping.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
as Ronald Reagan said, the 9 most terrifying words are "We're from the government and we're here to help."
Right.
But yeah, that's wild. So yeah, one of the things that I'd noticed about your dad's Tej, before you guys got caught up in the hops versus geisha issue with the TTB, was that the geisha seems to bring a sharper and more prominent flavor. Now I don't know if maybe he was using more, obviously I don't know, but
It does. It's a very bitter and sharp. I would say sharp hop.
mm-hmm.
And I think as much as it all really depends on how much you use. And to be honest with you, back then it was kind of hard to have autonomy on how much we were using. We weren't the actual winemakers, so we would come in and give our recipes and hope that the
And then
wine,
hope they did it.
yeah, that it
Hope they
actually
follow
did
procedure.
right.
Dang, yeah.
And recently as far as the last 2 years, where I have my own hands on these ingredients and I'm doing it myself, is when I'm noticing, hey, you really have to have, some type of passion for this, or you have to really care about what you're doing, or, certain things are fragile per se, like has how much hops you were using, because it could be really, really bitter. It can come off really, really sharp. So um, I think we've come up with a formula to try to balance that. I think Saba does a really good job of being more well-rounded and really getting the honey and the hops at an equal ratio.
Okay. Have you fiddled at all with like hop levels now that you're kind of transitioning into hops as opposed to geisha and trying to nail down that
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
I've been messing with a lot of different hops. There's hundreds of different hops, especially domestically. So I've been playing around with a bunch of 5 gal carboys and 15 gal carboys just to see which hops I like, and that are more readily available. A lot of these hops, the volume that we're doing, we need a lot of hops, so
Yeah.
it's hard to find this stuff readily available.
Yeah. No kidding. That is I was wondering about that, when I saw you guys were back in operation and and just trying to get that sorted out. That's gotta suck.
Yeah, yeah. One of my, I was telling Sergio actually, that one of my passions are to really get this grass approved and tell the story of Tej and why geisha is important to Tej, and you know the medicinal factors of Tej. I would love to see the reports and things that the FDA or the government has that says Tej is bad for us or it can cause some harm. Or I mean, geisha.
Okay. Yeah. It's. I'm guessing that there's somebody somewhere who knows diddly squat about it. That.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Awesome.
cross it out. I mean, it's the same thing like with the butterfly pea blossom. Breweries can use it, and wineries can't. I mean, okay, is it or
Right.
is it not grass?
Right. Yeah. Like you're saying, I do think that, you know, TTP probably or FDA got an influx of these formulas coming in with the word geisha. And, you
Yeah.
know, these representatives, if it's new to them, they're just like, I don't know what this is. So I'm just going to deny it.
Yeah. That's probably it too. Yeah, from what I understand, from my friends who run meaderies, is that you basically have to sort of develop a relationship, and you get your person, and then you try to deal with that person.
Right. Yeah, so it's definitely, as far as the TTB goes, it's definitely good to have a rep that you kind of are acquainted with and have an understanding with. And I guess they're just, you know, trying to be on the cautious side, and the safety is the most important thing for them. So it's better safe than sorry.
You're cutting them a lot of slack there, Kira. Personally, I don't have that much grace towards government, but you know. But yeah, it's a mess. I mean, and Mead threw them completely for a loop. I mean,
Right.
that's and it's been a battle on many fronts for many years to get things. I mean, like in fact, I was sharing a bottle of Pyment with a friend of mine who lives downstate. She and her husband come up to their little cabin every now and then. And we went over there to play Mexican Train and eat popcorn and sit around and jaw. But anyway, I dug out a bottle of in your face Pyment from from Crafted Artisan Meadery, and it's named that because he wanted to put the grape varietal on there, and TTB says, "Oh no, can't do that." And you know, because this is mead and that's wine, and never the two shall meet. And so he was just like, "Fine," and that's how it got its name.
Wow.
Malicious compliance.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it was just, you know, I mean, because I've heard so many stories from people and the stuff they run into. I used to get phone calls all the time. I'm like, guys, I'd love to help, but I don't deal with the TTB. I'm not a commercial mead maker. You know, I'm just a commentator to the meadery industry. But
Yeah, I love to be on their good side.
yeah, you want to be on their good side, because yeah. But I would say, you know, like, cultivate your person, you know,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid to check around with some of the other meaderies, you know, and see who they're working with, because that might make a huge difference for you.
And educate your person too sounds like a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've had to do that.
Yes, for sure. Even for New Jersey, I remember when I applied for a manufacturing license, I believe, you know, Sergio was the first meadery in New Jersey. So when I applied, I was speaking to the representative there, and they said, "Oh, this address," and I said, "Yeah, it was Melovino." And they're like, "Oh, we know Melovino." So, you know, they must have had and I asked, when I spoke to Sergio, he did say, "Yeah, they definitely know who I am there." So it's important to have that relationship with the state.
Yeah, you should get out and, you know, like, come around to one of the competitions, or
Yeah, for sure.
you know, some of the gatherings to meet the rest of your community, you know.
Right, absolutely. I wanted to actually go to Mexico for the Copa.
Oh, the Copa Idrima.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm hoping to go to that next fall. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, it's on my list for sure. And I Valkyrie Horn and even the Mazer Cup. These are all things that
Oh yeah.
were events that I definitely want to check out.
Yeah, you'll meet a lot of very, very interesting people.
Yeah, what really also pushed my passion was I took a the class at UC Davis, mead
Okay.
making class.
Yeah. Did you take
It
the
was-
mead making course that they offer out there?
yeah, I did. It was like it was almost like a boot camp. It was like a
Yeah.
2-week program.
Yeah.
Where
They've been doing that for a little while.
yeah, it was great. I did this in 2021 or 2022.
Okay.
And it was great. I met a bunch of people, and it kind of pushed my passion, gave me the confidence to really move forward. And then, it's like manifestation where, that's after that is when I met Sergio and Melovino, and, so it seems like I was just pushing along and it worked out.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a good program. I went to the very first one they had, and it wasn't the boot camp then. It was just like a 3-day conference, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, they give us a book, it's with meat and food pairing.
Yeah, that's Chrissy's book.
Right. And it's funny. I was like, I hope they're talking about Tej in this book. So I went to the index, found the word Tej, scrolled through the book. And then, in the couple pages, there's a little paragraph and it says, Araya Yibrehu out of New Jersey. And I was like, oh my God, I doubt my dad even knows that his name is in this book.
Yeah.
So it was.
I talked to Chrissy about that when she was writing it.
Oh, great! Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Your dad's been on my mind for quite a while. I mean, we don't talk all that often anymore, but
Yeah. He recently passed.
I know. So sorry.
Late October. So that's also one of my passions now is to tell my father's story through the Tej. He was an entrepreneur. He pioneered Ethiopian cuisine here, and he was one of the first restaurants in America. 1979, I believe he opened up. And now there's, I think, over 400 to 500 Ethiopian restaurants across the country. So
Yeah.
I really would love to tell his story through the wine.
I think that's wonderful. Didn't you just get back from Ethiopia? I think you said you went down to honor your mother.
Yeah, so my mom also passed about 2 years now. So we try to go back. Thank you. We took her back home, buried her in Ethiopia. So try to go see her around the time she passed. So late January.
One of our viewers or listeners, I guess, Arthur Frank is asking. I think he's up your way. Are you guys going to be having a tasting room?
So right now our license is for manufacturing.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I could change that in the next probably year. I wanted in year 3. So this is our second year. I wanted to try to change that in year 3.
Mm-hmm.
To add the tasting room. It is built out with the tasting room. Obviously.
Yeah. Space has already got it. Yeah.
Yep. So.
And those weird stairs going up the back and.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of a speakeasy vibe.
It is kind of a speakeasy vibe. Yeah. First time I went out there, I couldn't find it. I'm calling Sergio going, where the heck are you? Oh, we're around back. Oh, okay.
And it's still hard to get around back. Even if you know it's around back, you're like, how do I get around back?
Yeah. That's just nuts. But well, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that. I'll definitely swing up there. I'm hoping to get up your way. I don't know, sometime in the next year or so is the plan. Bobby has been after me to come up for a visit. So
yeah, we so what I for our tasting room, what I want to do is take a lot of the decor my dad had in the old restaurants it was more of a traditional vibe. So it had baskets and Ethiopian stools that you sit at. So I kind of want to bring that element into the meadery and give it like an African touch. Back home, you usually have Tej either at home or at what it's like a Tej bar, basically, where they only serve Tej. It's called a Tej bait. Bait means home or house.
okay.
So usually a Tej bait is all you do there is drink Tej. So
it's like going to a mezcaleria, right, Raul?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So That's exactly what I want to. I want to bring that element to our meadery.
Nice. That'll be cool. Be really awesome if you could, like also do food. Ooh boy.
Yeah,
I
I
drive
think
12 hours for that.
that's down the line. That's definitely
Yeah. I know. I'd say where I live now, I probably have to drive 250 miles to get to an Ethiopian restaurant.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah,
Oh wow.
there is not a lot, and I'm a huge ethnic foodie. So
Oh
like
wow.
I'm learning how to make this stuff myself now. So like I made Lebanese food the other day, and so yeah, I'm
Well,
trying to.
if you're ever in New York, I know a bunch of restaurants to
Oh, I
take
know.
you
If I get up that way, you'll know about it. Yeah, I'll let you know.
to.
I'll probably drag you out and we'll go out for dinner or something. But yeah, get Bobby to help us out. He knows his way around. But I'm surprised he hasn't been down to visit. Of course, without a tasting room, I suppose it's a little different. But
Yeah, it is if people are in the industry, I have no problem with them definitely coming
yeah,
by and checking it out. Um, it's it's really
yeah,
more for the
can't have
the
random public just showing up though.
exactly.
Not
It's
yet.
funny every once in a while, even like last week, we had three guys walk in, and I was in the production room, and they scared the living hell out of me. 'Cause, I'm not used to anybody coming in, so they came in. They're like, "We're here from Melovino." I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
They closed like
They
2 years
closed
ago, dude.
they closed a couple years ago.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's hard to keep track, because I've
right,
actually got to go in and update my list of places that are open because they're opening and closing and closing and opening, and yeah, it's just kind of all over
right.
the place.
Yeah, and for us, I think that's why I just wanted manufacturing right now. I think the goal is really to get this product on, well, at least in the Ethiopian communities around the country and in the restaurants.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, you've got a built-in market there.
right, absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah,
and that's one of my dad's goal in the beginning was to really get this product at a elevated level where it's accepted in really nice restaurants and it still carries the same taste of a homemade touch.
yeah, I like that. It's not quite the same without the food to go with it.
Right. Yeah, we traditionally eat a lot of spicy food, so it
Yeah,
balances really well with the spice, as you can
it
imagine.
does. Yeah, I went through a fair amount of it when I was eating Ethiopian because yeah, spicy food.
It's easy to drink. Yeah, it's easy to drink.
So I'm curious about your use of hops. Are they mostly for bittering, or are they
Yeah.
you're looking for aromatics and flavor as well?
I guess it's a little bit of both. We dry hop, so we kind of just throw the hops into the tank while it's fermenting. Um, it does definitely give a little bitterness. I guess as far as length is how you determine how much bitterness you want. But yeah, it gives off that little bitterness, but it does bring that earthiness as well.
Okay,
Okay.
and since you're dry hopping, it's basically at cool temperatures, so you're not gonna get a lot of bittering that way.
Right, right,
You
and I
might get
think that's
hop
where the
burn
earthy.
if you put too much in, but you won't get bitter.
Yeah, we get slight bitter, but more earthiness
It's more earthy,
on the
yeah.
on the back end.
Yeah, there's just a thread of bitter towards the end, but yeah, mostly you're getting a line of earthiness that just kind of is integrated. We've got questions coming in from the chat. Chris Mlachek is saying he's a Tej novice and wants to make one to experience it. He hasn't seen any anywhere near him. Are you guys on Vino Shipper yet?
Yeah, we're definitely on Vino Shipper. If you go to
Okay.
our website, we go through Vino Shipper. We're actually going to be updating our website this week.
Oh,
We
okay.
have a new agency that's really taking over our social media and things like that. So the
Okay.
website should be changed, but it's still the heritagewinery.com.
Okay.
And if you click a bottle or one of the bottles, it will take you to Vino Shipper.
Cool. And Christian is saying, so what is the typical flavor profile? What should he be shooting for?
It's more of a traditional mead. So definitely want to let the honey shine through, but give a little of that earthy bitterness on the back end.
Okay, so we're basically looking at a hopped mead, but it's more of a treat it like it's a traditional, and then the hops are just sort of an adjunct. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, not so much with Vino Shipper. He's in Ontario too.
Oh, right. I forgot Christian was up your way. Yeah. Well, Christian, you need to get in on the smuggling operation we've got going.
Quiet. This is a national podcast.
It is a national podcast. Yeah. No, we do occasionally go into Canada, and when we do, usually we'll
Perfectly legally transport alcohol across the border.
alcohol across the border. Exactly.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. And
If you need
do
to
it all the
smuggle it
time.
into Mexico, I can help too.
Yeah, and we can get it into Mexico with Raul. So, but now Arthur Frank is asking, and this is, and I'm not sure. Okay, so he says, since the BJCP has yet to write down any style guidelines for Tej, despite its long presence in the U.S., the BJCP is kind of behind. What guidance would you give for judges or tasters to sense and identify a well-executed Tej?
So they actually, if you look up historical in the BGCP, they count Tej as a historical style mead. So,
Which it is.
And it's funny that, I was telling my dad, I'm happy that he got to see that. I was like, Dad, they use Saba Tej as an example of historical.
Because it was the only Tej in the country.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, your dad was the only guy making
So it's
Tej.
automatically the reference style.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing to hear that.
Well, they're due to rewrite the guidelines here in a couple of years. They just got the cider guidelines updated, so I know for a fact that the mead guidelines are definitely on the list and will be coming, but it may take a couple of years.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's kind of like running a comp. It's a lot of volunteers, and
Yep. And really very few volunteers in this case. There's only a few people who are allowed to contribute. So
yeah, well, that's understandable.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
so I would say historical.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where it's mentioned.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give specific descriptors for Tej. The historical description is basically, it all depends on what you're trying to do, as long as it's well balanced, etc. I mean, there's really nothing specific to Tej. So I think that's what Arthur is looking for. Is maybe you could give us a little rundown on your sensory for the Tej that you create, so that we have that as a reference point.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the hops and the honey combination. You want the acidity, obviously. I was just sampling we're making a new batch of Saba right now, and we're about at 18.8 bricks. So I took a bottle of that to my buddy, and we were just drinking it earlier, and it's about 7.5% alcohol, and it tastes like juice. So for me, I said, well, it's not quite dead yet. We need to have definitely a little more acidity here, and I need a little more of that bitterness, earthiness to really balance out the sweetness. So for me, I guess it has to have that acidity and that earthiness, but having the honey really pull through.
Okay. It does, yeah. I mean, you're looking for that, because a traditional, I mean, you may bring in acid or whatever to help balance it, but what we're looking for here is for the hop to provide that and give that earthy tone and that bitterness to, like you say, to balance it out. So can you, okay, and I know you can't tell us, or aren't ready to tell us yet what hop you're using, but are there any hop varieties that you would throw out there to say these are good places to start?
Yeah, for sure. I would start with the Amarillo hops, Crystal hops, Columbus hops. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones that you could definitely play around with. A combination of a few. Willamette, I'm trying to think off the top of my head about different hops.
I imagine you played with a bunch
exception
of
of,
them.
with the exception of Amarillo, most of the ones you've named are old landrace hops, mostly, I think, in the United States, and they're kind of along the lines of the five noble hops. That's
Right.
why they started producing those hops in the United States. They wanted something to match or compete with a lot of those noble hops that were found in Europe. Amarillo, of
Right.
course, quite different from that. But
Yeah. But go ahead. Sorry.
what about yeast? Because I would imagine, it was all wild yeast in Ethiopia, and now here you are, making this in the United States, where you have a great variety of manufactured, produced yeast. So, how do you match up with the more traditional wild yeast profile that you would find in Ethiopia?
So I guess that's where our modern technology comes into play. To continuously make these batches with wild yeast, it would take too long as far as fermentation goes. So we do use a neutral yeast. I guess a neutral yeast. It's a champagne yeast.
So, like
EC
EC
118.
1118, like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. EC
Yeah. Okay.
1118. I know people that use D47, but for me, the champagne yeast really gives it that clear crystal touch. To be honest.
Okay. So Christian's asking, so are you looking for like a 1030 to 1050 for a good finishing gravity?
A little lower, to be honest
Ah,
with you.
okay.
We're at like 1023, 1024, 1025. Axum and Saba, Axum is a little stronger than Saba.
Guess it's a good thing I didn't pick that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Seeing as I'm
exactly.
3/4 of the way through this bottle already.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The gravity, the gravity is definitely a little lower on the Saba. So around 1024, 1026 is what we're looking for. Definitely under 1030.
Okay. This is on my list of things to make, so I'm taking notes too.
I have a question actually.
Yeah, go for it, Earl.
So you said you dry hop the test, right?
Yep.
Do you? I heard you mentioned you dry hop during fermentation. Have you
Yep.
experimented dry hopping after fermentation is over?
I have not. That's so I'm on my fourth batch commercially. I mean, with my own hands.
Right.
I do have these, smaller carboys that I'm messing around with, but I haven't tried dry hopping after. I'm just,
Right.
kind of taking what I've learned since my child watching my dad and my family do it and the way they do it, and kind of just
Right.
keeping to that. But that's one of the things I do want to test out is the length of dry hopping.
Right.
Do I want to throw it in right in the beginning? Do I want mid fermentation? Secondary fermentation, or even
Right.
after fermentation? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you could definitely bring the hops up a bit on that, just based on, the stuff of your dad's that I had years gone by, which the last one I had of your dad's was probably 15 years ago. So,
right, yeah, and it's funny. Growing up, I always thought they were much. I was like, these are really really strong
they were.
meads.
They were.
And I think naturally, my palate is more of like, oh, I like sweet wine. I like a sweeter mead. I like a sweeter wine. So I think I've tried to adjust the recipe to my liking, but I have to accept that my palate isn't everyone else's palate.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm just going by what Tej I've had, and going back and on the assumption that the Tej your dad had coming out, that that was representative of what Tej should be like? Not having been to Ethiopia myself, I don't know, but it just seemed, and of course the tejas I've had at various Ethiopian restaurants where they make it in the back room.
Right.
We don't tell them that.
As long
But
as it's not being sold, they're fine.
no, it's not. They just bring it out. Like, look, you have your
Yeah.
food. Here's your tej. So it's cool. Okay, so Arthur is asking in the chat. He says, for home brewers who are not constrained by TTB and can use geisho, do we use geisho sticks or leaves or both? And how do you brew with them? So here's where your family history comes into play.
Yeah.
Kiru.
So this is a great question. So it again, this is something that varies between households. Some households make it with just the bark or the branches. Some make it with just the leaves. Some make it with both. Traditionally, as long as there is some type of geisho in it or hop, that it is a tej. There was a study, I believe, it was done in 2001, and it was a professor at the University of Addis Ababa who put a study together with over 200 different tejas across Ethiopia.
Oh,
And
wow.
they kind of, I'll find the report and
Yeah, if
I'll
you can
send
find
it to
that
you.
and send it to me, that'd be great. I'd love to throw that up for people to look at. That's amazing. I've got like
Yeah.
one tej recipe that came out of the American Mead Maker Association 30 years ago. So, I mean, that's
Oh
it.
yeah, no, there was tons of information in this study, and he basically came down to say, there are no two tejas that are alike, and every
Yeah.
batch comes out different, and the alcohol ranges from 2% all the way up to like 20%. So pH levels can go from 3 to 5, or 3 to 6, I believe. So it 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 changes per household as far as recipes goes, but you know we before we weren't allowed to use geisha, we would use the bark, so we would use the branches um, as the means for the hops, and as,
Okay.
instead of the leaves.
Okay. That was what I was taught, was you use the branches, but that was coming from your dad. So, I mean, because I asked, I was like, okay,
Right.
Araya, what do I do?
I have to find. Now I'm curious to find this study, but yeah,
Now I've done it, right?
um,
Rabbit hole.
but yeah,
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to see more tej. And you were talking when we were chit chatting via email and stuff, that you're playing with expanding on all of this and reaching into new areas that maybe aren't quite traditionally tej associated. Things like fruit, stuff like that.
yeah. So like a melomel, like we want to eventually, have a different style. So one style my dad wanted to do was a blackberry,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess that would be considered a melomel for adding fruit to it. So
Yep.
yeah,
So
I guess
these would
that's
be
one
more
thing.
just like a regular mead, or would they be tej with fruit?
Basically tej with fruit. I mean, we
Okay.
would be using hops.
Okay.
We would use the same pretty much recipe we're using now, but add the blackberry to it. We do want to do
That'll
our
be
coffee.
interesting.
Yeah, we have a coffee style recipe that we also want to implement, and a sparkling. We want to do sparkling as well.
Sparkling. And are you gonna how are you
Just
thinking about sparkling it?
pretty much carbonating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like forced carbonation, or are you going to do bottle conditioning?
Probably forced carbonation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Bottle conditioning would be a pain.
Yeah.
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 Well, for a dry meat, it wouldn't be that bad. But
No, I mean, we had a guy in North Carolina that was doing basically champenois style. And so like you go into his place, which was garage, and it was an outbuilding that he had built, and the rules are a little bit different down there. And he had, you guys can't see me hand gesturing, I swear if I was Italian I couldn't talk if they tied my hands down.
I know, I get it.
Yeah, you've seen me, you know. But he had all of these. There's like hundreds of champagne bottles all upended with, you know, the yeast cap at the top, and you know, and closed off and doing their thing, and it was just. And it was tough because of the, you know, doing the bottle conditioning took up too much space, too much time, and was too finicky. You know,
it's a horrible process.
it's a horrible process.
At
Yeah, and
least
from a
from an
commercial
efficiency
standpoint, it was
standpoint.
not viable, and he didn't make
Right.
it, unfortunately. So
Unless you're big.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can get away with it if you're really big, but if you're a little
Right.
meadery, that's a whole nother animal. So
Another question, though, kind of related to that is, are you stabilizing your meads, or do you basically just ferment them to completion and sweetness and leave it at that?
Yeah, we kind of ferment them into the sweetness that we like, and then we cold crash the tanks. Just kind of bring them down to 34 degrees or 0, and then bottle. We'll filter, we paper frame filter, and then bottle.
Okay, so a plate and frame filter. Are you using absolute filtration or
Yeah,
nominal?
after.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah, after the plate and frame, before bottling, we definitely absolute filter.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
still
Okay.
not 100% guarantee, but it's probably pretty reliable.
Yeah, we haven't had any issues of re-fermentation.
I'm say these
we
are doing
did-
okay.
Yeah, we did think we had a problem with re-fermentation, but we actually filled the bottles too high.
Oh.
The corks started coming out, and
Oh,
you know,
no.
I was freaking out, like, oh my god, this meat is re-fermenting in the bottles, and you know, so thank God it was just that.
I think
I
I
got
had
a
that
few
happen with one
bottles,
of my first batches too.
Yep.
I
got
had
a few
one- I had
bottles
one
this
that-
week that way.
Yeah, I had a whole batch of raspberry do that. I heard all the popping noises in the basement, went down, and there was
Oh,
a pool of blood on the floor.
that is not fun. No, sir.
No.
Especially
were
with
all-
sugar in it.
Yeah, they were laying down too, so it was like,
Oh, man.
yeah, it was a
Oh, no.
mess.
Yeah,
Yeah. After that, I started
definitely.
stabilizing.
Yeah,
I don't have commercial level filtering capabilities. So.
No, me either. Luckily, I've never had a bottle bomb, and I hope never
Yeah.
to have one.
I've not had any bottle bombs, but I've had several blow their corks. I have not.
Yeah.
No, I take that back. I did have a bottle explode inside a cooler at a Renaissance festival, and you don't want to see how far that glass embedded in the cooler.
Oh, that's very dangerous.
It was very
I heard
dangerous. Yeah,
stories of
thank God it
people
was in
yeah.
a cooler.
losing
Is all I can
fingers and
say.
stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
not fun.
Oh, yeah. We've all talked to people who are like, yeah, and for 4 more years, I was finding little shards of glass all the way across the
over the-
room in the
Oh
corner.
yeah.
Yep.
My favorites are the, and then I had to wash the ceiling stories.
Of course. And I admit that's happened to me.
Yeah, it has
Yep.
me too. Yeah, and the
wild
floor.
fermentation went off. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right, that happens.
Yeah,
You
it
do
happens.
it once and hopefully never ever again.
Yeah, it's a typical story in the life
I
of a
won't say
meat
it's a
maker.
good
you know?
learning experience, but it's a valuable one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for sure. I'll never
For
forget
sure,
that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, you never forget that one. That's for sure.
I mean, that's one thing about being in a commercial space. At least you have floors and stuff that are
And
pretty
Floor
drains.
drain.
And drains.
Right, exactly. The rest of us are like, well, that was my drop tile ceiling. So shit,
Yeah, right?
there's that.
Yeah, like, oh crap, now I got to replace the ceiling. Yeah, I know.
And sometimes the walls and yeah.
It took 8 years for the port wine stain to fade off my foundation of my house after
which
that.
is even better.
After the one that blew its, yeah, that's why I don't use buckets with spigots on them anymore.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, that's always a bad idea.
Yeah, never should have thought of that in the first place, but it seemed like a good idea at the time, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a sticky floor from that once too.
Yeah. Okay, Brian Stevens on the chat says, as the industry seems to be, at least lately, trending to more sessionable drinks, so lower ABV, you know, like under 8%. Any thoughts on something lower ABV while still trying to retain that traditional Tej character?
Yeah, it's so funny he asked that. Like I was saying, I was at a buddy's restaurant earlier today, and you know, we were tasting the Tej that we were producing, the Saba that we're producing now, and it's at 18.8%. I mean brick, so it's really only about 7.5% alcohol. But it was great, and we added a little seltzer to it. So we were thinking this could be like a nice summer drink. It's really refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe canning it. So it's definitely a thought for sure.
Should we jump in with a question from Nathan?
I think we just had a little hiccup.
Yeah, sorry, the
Yeah.
system just
Oh,
did
yeah.
a hiccup thing, and
Okay.
yeah, hang on, Kira, you dropped out in mid sentence there, so
Yeah, I was. I forget what I was saying.
oh, we were talking about sessionable means, and you said you were thinking about doing that.
Right.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I was with a buddy, and we were tasting the Saba, and it's only about 7.5% right now. So we added a little club soda to it. So it's a really nice drink to drink in the summer or springtime. So might be down the line, maybe we'll can it or something like that.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'd love to see what a session tej would look like. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Let's make sure to get some when you release that.
Yeah, it was unfiltered, so it still had all the yeast in it and everything. So
well, that's very tej-like, though, right?
Yes, exactly. Like, and I brought it to my buddy who they have a Eritrean restaurant. So when he saw it, he was like, "Yeah, this looks like the stuff back home." So
Ah,
might be some down the line.
yeah, that would be really cool to have something that was very traditional, but at the same time, very marketable.
Right.
That people would drink. But yeah, that the unfiltered state, I would think that was cool personally, and like, wow, okay, I know that this is more in the keeping of how it's actually done and drunk,
Right.
in Ethiopia. But at the same time, though, once you get that on shelves or virtually or otherwise, people are going to be going, I don't know, it's cloudy, so
Exactly.
that's a conundrum. Yeah.
Right. But the benefit of natural wines now, people are loving it, and I think orange wine. So I think it's a good place to be. I think we could get it really into the market, and people could enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's what you want to, you want to get it out there. And I think you're off to a good start. I mean, this turned out really well. I still say I'd bring the hops up a little bit again, just based on, what I learned from your dad and tasted from what he was making. But yeah, I mean, it's a good mead. It's a great
Thank you.
mead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No taken. So I think if you even for us I would say the Axum is probably you'll get more hops or more bitterness, earthiness from the Axum than you do with the Saba.
Yeah. Arthur's over on the chat saying he loves how the discussion is how does clarity factor into being true to style versus what can be sold.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
Right,
for
unfortunately.
competitions, you put it into the historical category, and if there's a good definition for tej that says it should be cloudy, well, then it'll get judged that way. But the public
Doesn't know.
necessarily see it that way, of course. So
Right.
that you drink with your eyes before you taste. So
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Visual is a
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's what also one of the reasons why my dad did filter it or want it filtered in the beginning to make it more appeasable to Westerners or foreigners that are not used to the traditional tej. And down the line I do want to do an unfiltered tej, but I really want Axum and Saba to be known
Right.
before people are open to trying something that's
right.
That makes sense. Yeah, because once you've established yourself and people know who you are, then they'll be like, "Oh, wow, this is like totally traditional."
right. Exactly.
On that traditional line, what would you think about doing something like a pet nat fermentation? And would that be too much of a departure from a traditional tej? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say pet nat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bottling the wine before it's fully fermented.
Well, it's actually aged on the lees.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is fully fermented, but it's aged on the lees, and so the lees break down, and they can add a creamier mouthfeel to the finished product.
Okay, I'm in my, I guess, understanding. I'm going more thinking it's bottling the wine before it's fully fermented, but that makes more sense what you're saying. Um, I guess that I'm curious now that you bring
Now,
that
see,
up.
you've got another 5-gallon batch to make there. It sounds like you're get hopping
I
there,
have
boy.
gone down a few rabbit holes, so forgive me for pushing you down one too.
No,
Yeah, Kevin's
it's
a king of
good.
rabbit holes. So.
It's a good rabbit hole. These are good rabbit holes.
Well, anyway,
Christian's coming.
something to think about.
Yeah, right. Christian's got a lot of good questions tonight. He says, for a traditional recipe, you would dry hop with the geisho, leaving it in for the duration of the fermentation. Correct?
Right. Yep, that's
Okay.
what I would do.
Okay.
Maybe put it in like a cheesecloth, or some people just throw it in right into the carboy or whatever.
I think I'd probably just throw it in. It'd be easy to
Right.
avoid when you're racking. So.
Yeah, especially if
Yeah.
you're using sticks or leaves or something.
You're right. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like you're throwing. It's not like you're throwing pounds of the stuff in there.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and
and
that's actually a good question: is how much?
how
would you
much?
add?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Okay, so if you can give us that information, what sort of ratio are we looking at here?
Traditionally, to be honest with you, in Ethiopia, that also varies.
Of course it
people
does.
just start
Ask 10 Ethiopians, get 20 answers, right?
Right,
The
exactly,
style ranges
exactly.
from very low to
But-
very high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for us in, like, I guess, commercial sizes, if we're doing a 3,000-liter tank, I would use a couple pounds.
Okay.
Right.
Upwards of 5 to 6 pounds.
Okay.
So.
All right, y'all out there can do your own math. 3,000 versus 6 pounds. So 3,000 liters, 6 pounds. But yeah,
Should we throw in a Nathan question here?
I
Because of course
Yeah.
he sent
yeah,
a bunch,
I think we definitely need to do a Nathan question.
and Nathan is one of my local buddies who's a tej maker. So
Yeah, if you come out to Valkyrie's Horn, I'll make sure you get introduced, Kira.
right.
Oh, okay, great. And if I remember correctly, Nathan always has great questions.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Great.
We don't know where he gets it, and we don't question it. It just is.
He does his research. Yes,
he does.
Mhm.
All right.
And he
so
names
first
all his
question-
mead, and he names all his mead in Latin.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Great.
And he entered Valkyrie's Horn. So in a few weeks, when we announce results, you can look for his name, and hopefully it'll be up there once or twice or more.
Yeah.
And, yes. Then you have to figure out what the heck he actually called it.
Yeah, right. And then you have to decipher that. Yeah, because I didn't. I helped my daughter with Latin, but never learned it. So.
Luckily, we have translators now.
Yeah.
All right. So while mirroring the same ABV percentage, but being made from two very different honey varietals, what else do you feel characteristically distinguishes your Saba Tej from Axum Tej in terms of their unique acidity and sweetness?
To be frank with you, it's really the honey. It's the only thing that is different in both styles. And as you know, the purveyor of the honey, they really do well with supplying some really good honey from specific areas. So it's easy to get that across as far as taste. You could really tell the difference in those honeys. Just tasting the honeys before you actually make the mead.
Oh, sure.
You could tell the difference. But as far as any other ingredients, it's literally just the honey, the water, and the hops.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, are you treating your water in any way?
We're using filtered water. The meadery has reverse osmosis built in.
Nice.
So we're using filtered water through there.
And then once you, if you're starting with RO water, are you adding anything back?
No, no, the water it's softened, so that's the only other.
Okay.
It's softened water. Yeah.
All right. Another Nathan question then. Your meads being sulfite free, are there some aspects to the level of geisho used that allow for more aging potential?
That's an interesting question.
Well, except you're not using geisho anymore, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about here. So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Well, basically, knowing that you don't have sulfites in there, I think he's asking, does geisho do something in terms of preserving the mead with regard to aging potential for the mead?
Yeah.
So if there's no sulfite, it's going to age more rapidly, right? The chemical changes are going to happen faster than they will with
Right.
sulfite, because it retards all those bacterial and yeast activities.
Right. I mean, for us, we've never, I've always, every winemaker we've ever worked with or mead maker we've worked with has always suggested we add sulfites. And I guess because we have a commercial market, the Tej is being drank quite fast in comparison to, home brews. They may
Yeah.
stay longer. So we haven't really had an issue as far as the Tej changing in taste. The batches go pretty quickly.
I noticed a
Yeah.
touch of oxidation on this one, but just the barest touch.
On the
And of
Saba.
course,
On the Saba, yeah.
with regard to them being consumed quickly, then you run into people like Vicky or myself who have stuff that sits in our cellars
We
for
hoard.
decades.
I've got 700 bottles of mead. The way it gets drunk, I mean, honestly, the only time I'm really drinking mead is on the show and when I take cases with me when I go to events.
Yep.
And I mean, I will occasionally drink mead between times, but I honestly don't drink much. I just don't. I mean, the older I've gotten, the less I drink, and there we go. And I'm on some meds that make it hard for me to drink too. So,
it's funny. I opened a bottle of Tej that we made at Bon Air in Washington State years ago. This is early 2000s. Barely any sediment.
nice.
A little oxidation. That could be the geisho preserving it, because
It could
back then
be, yeah.
we were allowed to use geisho. So that's the only example I could find or think about that where I'm seeing it does hold as some type of preservative there.
I had a bottle of your dad's that was at least 10 years old. It's gone now, but it was a good 10, 15 years old, and it held up beautifully.
Yeah, Vicky, I'll find I think I still have a couple cases.
Yeah, you got to develop your library, Kira.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Every meadery owner has a library.
They should if they don't. Yes.
Yeah, it's slowly coming together. There's a really nice wine rack at the meadery Sergio had, so I'm slowly filling. And he gave me a bunch of bottles to start with. So
I bet he did. Yeah, I'll bet you got some good ones too.
We're
jealous. For sure. Yeah, I've been slowly drinking them, which I probably shouldn't be. But.
Yeah. Did he give you a Midnight Jack?
Yeah, I definitely have Midnight Jack. For
I
sure.
love Jack, man. I gave my last bottle of Midnight Jack to one of my best friends from high school. She was my total bestie all through high school, and she got married this past summer, and my wedding gift to her was a bottle of Midnight Jack.
Wow. Yeah, I mean he has a bunch of different varietals that were incredible. So he's inspired me to want to do different things with the Tej.
He had a lot of fun with that. His beer style meads were really good too.
For sure.
So another Nathan question: do you note some mouthfeel and tannin changes between freshly released versus a year or two old? And it kind of goes back to what you were just talking about, but maybe more focused on like mouthfeel and tannin.
Yeah, I guess. I guess with bottle shock, and for me, I noticed the difference from the first day we bottle versus a month after we bottle, I guess, and that's just bottle shock.
Okay.
And it kind of, for me, it kind of smooths out a little bit, and allows really the honey to shine through after a couple weeks. But as far as mouthfeel, um, I guess it loses some acidity and a little sharpness in the beginning, and it kind of smooths out at the end.
Okay. Let's see. He's got a couple more, and then we're done with Nathan questions for the day. The last one's kind of long, so but let's go with the shorter one first.
Yeah, right.
You got. It takes me a minute to parse through some of these things, and I know the guy fairly
You know
well.
the guy, yeah.
How do you go about crafting your rare sparkling tej? I think you touched on it a little, but maybe more detail.
Yeah, I guess, it's, again, same, I guess, recipe we're using, and then, force carbonated on the back end to just give it a little sparkling touch.
Okay, so sorry.
Well, just as a follow-up there, do you make any post-fermentation acid adjustments, or do you just kind of leave it be?
We just leave it be, but that is also something I was actually talking to someone about, is trying to really understand the acidity, and I was starting to mess with the hops, and the difference in the blanking out, but the difference in the alpha acidity in the hops, I think that's where I'm starting to notice that might be what's changing the acidity in the final product. So as far as acidity goes, that's all I've been really thinking about, is maybe it's coming from the alpha acidity in the hops.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's hit the last question here. Do you seek to expand into more experimentation with new mead recipe development? For example, knowing that Ethiopian coffee is some of the best in the world, would you consider a coffee mill in your lineup, or a Mimita?
Yeah.
That's one I've never heard of, so I'm interested in that myself.
Yeah. Now I'm saying it the way
and you're Ethiopian, dude. Your auntie would like smack.
I don't feel so bad now.
Right. So yes, mimita and berbere is two very popular spices in Ethiopia. It's almost in all of our food, and it's a pepper, so it obviously gives off a really strong spice note. But coffee is definitely in our formulas and our recipes that we want to produce in the near future. We haven't played around with the mimita or the berbere, but that's a great idea.
I was gonna say, have you got the Spice Bible?
Yes.
Okay, so and I mean, you've got a lot of unique spices and foodways down there, and it just seems like it would be amazing to bring some of those foodways into your meats. I mean, there's so many amazing flavors down there.
Right. Yeah, and again, I think for us is really just getting the standard Axum and Saba out, so people know that this exists. Eastern Europe has done a great job of promoting mead and honey wine, and and I feel like Africa's got lost at the waistline, and Edge got lost at the waistline. So one of my passions is telling the story of just Edge and where it really originated. One of the places it originates from. So down the line, yes, it's kind of like our chocolate chip cookie for now. It's really getting the traditional out before we could go with the
that makes sense.
Different styles. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you enter the EMMA conference next month?
No, we didn't, unfortunately.
Next year you need to, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Eastern Europe has been doing they're kicking butt over there, so you
I
need to
know.
definitely get in it. Your world meads, so you need to get
Yep.
in on that.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
another thing that I thought I would mention, Kirubell, is if you haven't checked into them yet, another honey vendor that you might want to look at is World Honey Exchange,
Oh gosh, yeah, they're great.
because they're sourcing honey from Ethiopia.
From Ethiopia.
Yeah, so you know, I did look through the World Honey Exchange. The issue with the honey in Ethiopia is the moisture.
Mhm.
And it's over 25% moisture. So, as far as making mead, it gets kind of difficult. Um, and single sourcing that honey is a little difficult as well.
Okay. Well, I just thought I'd mention it. I have a few of their buckets here myself, and I haven't had any problems with them fermenting on their own. So the moisture
Good to
content
know.
seems to be okay, but I wouldn't know if that's true of everything, of course. So
Right.
and the honey is unique. There's some really cool varietals there that are a lot
Oh
of fun
yeah,
to play with. I will say.
that
Yeah,
would be cool.
one of my goals is to really go back to Ethiopia and make tej. There's multiple different tribes in Ethiopia. So, and I want to source honey from each of these tribes and have a dedicated tej style for that tribe, and really represent Ethiopia as a whole.
Nice.
Sounds really cool.
It does sound really cool.
Thanks.
I love that you're getting that, the culture, and you're going to bring tej to the world the way your dad brought Ethiopian food to the world.
Right.
You
Yep.
know?
And that's really just the goal. Is I never thought I would be doing this, to be honest with you. And I watched my dad work in the restaurant business and the meat business for years, and I never thought this was something I would do. But I realized it's a family business, and why not honor my family as best as I could.
Well, I think you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, this is really good stuff. And I'm looking forward to trying the other one, but I'm not going to drink as much next time. I refilled my glass twice. That was a mistake. I should have stopped at one. So there's like about, I don't know, 6-7 ounces of mead left here, and I need to stop. I was looking at it going, how do I drink that whole bottle? I totally never do that.
The good thing is we don't have sulfites, so hopefully no hangover.
I don't have a sulfite sensitivity, so that's okay. But yeah, I am more susceptible to the effects of alcohol than I used to be. They've got me on some medications that make me kind of a lightweight. So yeah.
And again, with the sulfites, TTB, we tried to put no sulfites, but they said we can't put no sulfites because there's always
naturally occurring.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we got stuck with putting that.
Yeah, there is no such thing as wine with no sulfites, just minimal sulfites. But yeah, I mean, this one is perfectly still. I mean, we have got no re-fermentation or anything like that going on with this, and it's nice and clear. I'm looking at the bottle here. I've got not one iota of dropout that I can see.
Great.
And the filter's doing its job.
Filter's doing its job. Yeah. How far down are you filtering it?
Well, as far as the papers that were
microns or whatever.
We're going down to EK, so we're starting at 1500, and then I believe we're going 900, 700, 250s, and then EKs. So it's pretty EK.
So what does that mean in microns? Sorry.
Pretty much 0.1 to 0.3 microns.
Oh, okay. That's sterile.
Yeah. EK is pretty much, that's as I think it's still. Actually, I don't think you can go any lower than that. And then we're doing the absolute filter after that.
Okay.
I got
that should
people
do
over on
job.
the. I got people over on the chat going, "Are you bringing any of this to the
Yeah.
to the Valkyrie's horn?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll talk to Kira."
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, If you
Yeah, how
if
many
you can
bottles I
spare
could
it,
send over?
yeah, if you can spare it, send me a few more, and I'll make sure that everybody gets to try it. So
Great.
we'll at least get folks out there, and they'll spread the word. So that's,
Well, with any luck, there might be a little left over in one of the bottles that was in the first round of judging too. So.
oh, true, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, or maybe I'll try to send extra bottles with.
You can do that too.
I was
Oh, that's
gonna
right.
say-
You haven't sent anything yet, so
Yeah,
sure.
so-
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. If you want to send some extras, that's free, or send them to me, or send them to them. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Right. We have bottle shares Friday and Saturday night after.
Yeah, a
judging
lot of
stuff,
bottles
so.
get shared
Yep.
too. So
Oh,
Right.
great.
yeah, I rarely come home. My goal is to go out with a couple of cases and come back with empty boxes. That's
Yeah, that doesn't happen though.
It never works out that way. Every time I walk in the door, my husband's like, "So did you bring back more or less than you took out?"
Well, I mean, I alone have a case for you, so
I know, right?
People keep giving you things.
I
I
know.
know,
It's like I told my daughter, I said, "So I'm gonna have to designate somebody to get my mead when I die," and because that's something I have to think about now. And she's like, and my daughter, who doesn't like mead, says, "Well, wait just a minute, Mom." And I said, "Well, what do you mean you don't like mead?" She's like, "No. You hang on to that. I'll deal with it after you're gone." I was like, "Okay."
And she's probably thinking, I have friends.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So yeah, because I go down there and look at it, I got like 700 bottles of mead. And I'm like, shoot, if I could drink a bottle like every week, I'd not finish before I died. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's why we give it away.
That's why we give it away. Yeah. That's why I take
Yep.
it with me everywhere I go so I can share it with people. That's my job is I'm a mead evangelist, it's this
Mead evangelist.
Yeah. That's my job. What can I say? Well, it sounds like you're
cross you have to carry.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a cross I have to carry. That's right. Yeah, you guys didn't seem to mind, and the folks I brought the Mexican mead bag for didn't seem to mind either.
Hell yeah. I'm just send you some more stuff. So.
Yeah, right. Which reminds me, Raul, you need to when we're offline, email me your address so I can send you a book.
My PO box or
yeah, whoever I can send physical mail to. Yeah.
Yeah, my PO box should
Yeah.
be perfect because it's in Texas. So
okay, so yeah, it does. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just send it to me and I'll send you a book.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, what category did you choose for the mead that you have entered at the competition?
Historical. I just try to keep any competition these days. I'm just trying to do historical, just to really get our name on the map in the mead world.
Okay.
I think that's a good
Yeah.
plan in my opinion and experience.
Yeah. I think when my dad was entering competitions in the early 2000s, there weren't many mead
There weren't that many, yeah.
Yeah. And then even in the wine competition, he was very strong-willed on getting a mead category or a tej category, but a lot of them would just place him in like a dessert category or sweet wines.
Yeah, because they didn't have anything like historical or anything like that because they didn't know
Right.
mead. Yeah.
Right.
And of course, for a lot of those competitions, they don't have any actual guidelines.
No.
Yep.
It's just the experience of whoever happens to be sitting at the table without any sort of instructional information for them. For those of us who are used to that, it's a little disconcerting, but that's how it is.
Right.
Yeah. Trying to type and talk at the same time isn't working.
Yeah, that doesn't work. It's sort of like walking through gum, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to type, and all of a sudden it goes quiet. It's like, oops.
Yep, I know. Well, I mean, I think we've covered most of the questions.
Yeah, well, all the ones that have come in so far. Yeah, we've had a very active chat tonight.
And this is roughly where we have been moving toward doing more recipe development.
Yes.
So is that something we would like to do? And are we going to have some participation from Kirubell on that topic? Is he willing? I guess is part of the question.
So as far as recipes, I was telling Vicky earlier, it's a little tough for me to, I could speak as a more broad about Ethiopian recipes and the way they do it back home, but it's hard for me to divulge into our.
Well, yeah, your stuff is proprietary. So let's go back to what do they do back home? Let's talk about that.
Sure.
So yeah, they, hops or honey, even when you start with the honey, the beehives are not traditional beehives that you would find here domestically. They're kind of more like what would I say, like cocoons, like big cocoons they put into the tree. Usually made out of bamboo. I think they're made out of bamboo, I believe, and that's kind of how the beehives are placed in the trees. And again, it's more of a regional thing. Certain areas procure their honey differently.
Sure.
But that's really the start of Tej is again the honey, and then it's back home. At in each house they usually use, like nowadays they're using these plastic carboys to really make the Tej versus stainless steel tanks, wooden barrels they use, and then the geisho. The geisho, it can be the bark, it could be the leaves, it could be grounded up leaves. So it kind of varies. And then fermentation, it goes from 1 to 6 months up to a year. There really is no say on how long there's no chemistry behind it. There's no science really behind it. It's kind of someone's grandmother tasting it and going by the taste and saying, "Oh, it's ready." It's not ready. And I do remember reading in the study that I gotta find this study, but they did talk about how the alcohol ranges could go up to 25%, because nobody's actually doing the science behind it. I actually think I found it. Yep, it's the Journal of Food Technology in Africa. It's the chemical and nutritional properties of Tej, indigenous honey wine, Ethiopian honey wine variations within and between the production units. So I could send this to you, Vicky, just so you have it.
Okay, I'll get it put up there so folks can read it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's traditionally it is that yellow, cloudy wine, and that's coming from the yeast, and the Tej really depends on the honey, and that's where the bees are what they're pollinating off of. So for it, again, it goes back to that regional taste.
So a lot of the honey that's harvested in a more traditional fashion there would probably be pretty heavily smoked, right? I mean,
yes,
it's how they subdue the bees, and because they're Africanized bees, they're going to be quite aggressive. So a lot of smoke is going to be used.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've been trying to replicate in your mead?
No, I haven't. But even I've heard stories of back home where they smoke the barrel that they're going to make the Tej in, to kind of give that flavor.
That might be interesting to smoke your honey.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
realistically, you just need to run a thread of smoke through it. So you like put a bubbler in the bottom of the big tank and
Exactly.
feed smoke to it. Yeah.
Like a hookah or a bong.
Yeah, like a hookah
honey
or
bong.
something.
Nice.
Honey bong.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right?
Oh my God, Kevin has some stories, huh?
Bunch of potheads over here, you know?
I went to college.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
It's legal here.
Well, it's legal here now.
Yeah.
But
well, in Canada, it's legal nationwide, but yeah.
Yeah.
Here it's a patchwork, so.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Anyway, so yes, because I've got some honey that came from Zambia, and I still have a whole bunch of that, and it's pretty smoky. So I looked into why and how, and I would imagine that's pretty typical.
That's probably why and
most,
how.
Yeah, exactly.
As a beekeeper, we understand why you'd smoke the crap out of them.
Well, at least some, but I think it's a little different there because Africanized bees are
they're like pissy.
Yep. Okay,
Right.
well, it was an interesting idea anyway.
No, it's a great idea.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Or if you could, talk to Bee Seasonal go to World Honey Exchange and get some of the Ethiopian honey.
Yeah, the dark miombo.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the one
that's
I
a
would
beautiful
go
honey.
for.
Yeah. That's another thing too. You were talking at the beginning, about the different honey varietals and how the different flavors are playing into what you're making. One of the things they have at Valkyrie's Horn is a ginormous honey library.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Varietals from all over the world. So, and then we all bring in stuff when we come in.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's for us also. I think the amount, as commercial scale, you kind of need a lot of honey. So it's been tough to really get this type of quality honey in size.
And the quantities that you need as opposed to what we do. Yeah. I don't know. I'd check with World Honey Exchange. I mean, they do volume, so I don't know. Yeah.
Definitely.
But, if you're wanting to get back to your roots, so to speak, and go more traditional with the honeys, it's worth taking a look. Can't hurt to check. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if Bee Seasonal does any work in that area. I think they're mostly middle and Central and South America. But
I don't think I think I've actually asked Thomas, and I don't think they do.
Yeah, they don't.
No,
well,
they don't.
he's got. Yeah, they don't do it. That I'm aware of. Yeah, I mean they've got all their connections are in Mexico, Central and South America.
Right.
So
they did bring in some Indian honey at one point, but I think that was just a one-off.
And someday we hope that they'll get enough of that European cherry honey that we can't get in these tiny little jars.
I have a feeling that is not going to happen.
I don't think there's enough quantity on that one. It'd be nice, but
I'm not buying any more honey these days, but that would be a one that I would make an exception for.
Oh yeah, if that came out in quantity, I'd be all over it. That was an amazing honey. So yeah, it's funny. It's funny how much different they can be.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty.
Yeah, it is. That's what's beautiful about it. But it's just amazing. When you talk to somebody who doesn't live in the world that we live in, and they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Okay, so and that's what I line up a half dozen honeys and let them try it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" They just flip out.
Everybody here just thinks it's honey.
Yeah. It's just whatever you get. Yeah, off the shelves at Safe Mart or whatever.
Well, I have a friend in San Diego who thought she hated honey. Turns out she doesn't. She just hates orange blossom honey. But that's all you can get down there.
That's all you can get down there. Yeah,
everything's contaminated with it.
What a shame. Yeah.
For us, I think
interesting hate.
For when we do tastings, in wine stores or liquor stores, and we tell people there's only honey in here. There's no sugar. We don't add any sugar. We don't add any other flavoring, additives or anything like that. And people are shocked. So a lot of times I bring a jar of the honey just so people could see where it derived from, and they're shocked, and then I have to go into the whole hey, honey isn't really regulated here in the U.S. and everything is mixed up and sold on the shelf and if you look at the ingredients, it just says honey. So
Right.
it's
Yep.
part of it is the education, right? And we want to. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to educate people as well.
Yeah. And that's
Absolutely.
a primary thing for a lot of meadery owners is education, because people just don't know.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I'm gonna be frank with you. I was probably one of those people too. And the the deeper you go into this, is it's kind of just shouts out at you. It's the honey.
Yeah.
you know.
And that's what
So
this is. And that's what, if we can get people to understand that this is to honey what wine is to grapes,
right.
and the difference between a Merlot and a Cab and and a Syrah and a Pinot Noir and, all that kind of stuff. And they don't get it. They don't realize that
Oh, it
honey
must
is,
be so sweet. Yeah, is grape juice sweet? Yeah, is wine sweet? Oh,
yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
have that
then
conversation all the time.
Always,
even the
always.
addition of sugar. Some people use sugar in their mead or their honey wine, and
Blasphemy.
right.
Blasphemy, indeed.
So that's another thing. People are like, "Oh, how much sugar do you put in when you're making it?"
None. Oh my
We're none.
God.
It's
What do
just
you
the
think honey
honey.
is?
Yeah.
well, if
I
they
have
come from
seen
a
people say that. But
if they
yeah.
come from a winemaking background but not grape wine, then I understand the question.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Because
AJ
most
started out
fruits
as a
that are not
winemaker. Yeah.
most fruits that are not grapes, you have to add sugar to. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're going to get like a beer strength wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
They just don't have enough. But this has been fascinating. I don't suppose we could lure you out to Valkyrie's Horn this year.
I wish. I wish I could. I think it's right around the corner, to be honest.
It is,
with you.
yeah.
is.
It's the first weekend in March.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so we recently got in touch with a nationwide distributor. Well, he's with their importers, and they have access to the nation. So I've been trying to ramp up our production. So we're going to be busy in the next couple weeks. So it may be
okay.
tough to
Yeah.
get out
Well,
there.
I mean, if you can, great. If not, put it on your calendar for next. Well, no, next year Kevin and I are going to be in Poland.
Well, yeah, but we'll still be having the competition.
They'll still be having the competition. We just
Okay,
won't be
great.
there.
Oh no,
Great.
I'll be at the comp.
Well, yeah. I don't know. The comp runs pretty much the same time as Val's.
Well, we're gonna have a conversation with them to find out what date.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, because them being right on top of Alex is complicated. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
I mean,
we'll be at
it's
least a
bad
week
enough
apart.
that I have to miss. It's bad enough that I have to miss Domrus, because they're too
Yeah.
close together and the travel is too far and yada yada yada. And all
Yeah,
that kind of
3
stuff.
trips all in a row.
That's more than I can
hard.
handle budget wise. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No,
But
I
yeah.
hear you. But yeah, Kira. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I would love to see you getting out there, and I'll be happy if you go to a comp that I'm going to be at. I'll be happy to take you around and introduce you to everybody.
Oh wow, that'd be a blessing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be very happy to do that. Absolutely, no question. But I'm going to be at Valks. Probably going to be at Mazer. Maybe at Copa Idremel. I don't know. I haven't seen the dates for 2025 yet, so I don't know yet.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah, I've
idea
never.
either.
Yeah, I don't
I've
either.
never been to Mexico City. It's on my bucket list.
Oh, it was amazing. I wanted to stay for a lot longer than I did. It was really cool. It didn't hurt that we had Raul who played tour guide for us. So,
Right.
he
That
made
was
sure that we
super
got the
helpful.
best. He made sure we got the best street tacos, and we
Mhm.
went and saw some cool stuff, and went to Mezcaleria. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kidnapped them a couple of times.
Yeah, I had a blast. So yeah, it was a good time and a interesting comp, and I think they've got a future ahead of them for sure. But yeah, so and then there's of course EMMA, which is sometime in the spring, but I don't know what it's going to be next year. So
Yep, and I definitely want to go out to Europe and really test our TEDs with them.
Yeah, that you need to. That's a great comp with people from all over the world. So it's really a neat place to go. I went, oh gosh, just before COVID hit, actually, 2019. And I haven't been back since, so I need to get back out there.
Yeah, definitely on the list.
Very cool. But yeah, let me know, what you're going to be going to. And if I'm going to be there, I'll make sure you get introduced to everybody who's anybody. So
Great. Sounds great.
yeah. But
Yeah,
this is
for us, it's been my father doing everything for years, and he's been a one-man show. So I've, this is why I quit my job. I said this is something I could help build and be proud of. So now really getting into the industry and meeting people in industry, I think is the next step.
And
yeah.
it's yours. You're not doing it for somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
Always
Exactly.
a great bonus, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, I was doing the last batch we just made. We started making it at like 10 a.m. in the morning, and I didn't get out of our meadery until 7 a.m. the next day.
Yep. Welcome to professional mead making.
That's
I was like,
literally how it goes.
well, if I was working for somebody else, I probably would have left, 8 hours
Yeah,
ago.
but it's your business, so it's a different thing.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that any
Exactly.
number of times with my business. It's like, yeah, I worked around the clock. Why? Why do you ask? It's what it is. Yeah, Raul gets it. He's a
Yeah.
professional mead maker down in Mexico. So
I get it.
plus he's dealing with regulatory and weirdo Mexico stuff down there.
my
So,
Can't
It's
be
an
easy.
adventure, I can tell you.
yeah, he can tell you some stories.
Can imagine.
And say at least you're not getting locked out of your place, and yeah.
That's nice.
Right, for
Fighting
sure.
the government, oof.
Yeah,
I love
hunted down by the feds, and all that kind of fun
Oh
stuff.
my
Yeah, it's
That's to be
one thing
avoided.
to deal with a state. It's another thing to deal with a country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no kidding.
I can
So
imagine.
yeah, Mexico's got some weird rules. So yeah,
Yeah.
And then you go to the Netherlands, and they can make commercial mead in their garage.
yeah.
Right.
Well, and then you come to Michigan, and
It's
you can
not
have
fair.
and then you go to Michigan, and you can have mead on the left and beer on the right, and wine over there, and all in the same building as long as you paint a line on the floor, and it's good.
Not here.
Yeah, no.
Oh well. Life goes on. We
Yeah.
deal with what we got.
Yeah,
Do the best we can. And
It is what it is.
it is what it is. Exactly.
Exactly.
So, but Kira, this has been cool. I know there was a lot of people that were really excited about hearing more about Tej because it's a sort of a mystery mead, and there's not that many people making it professionally, and so there's not a lot of us home mead makers that have really done a lot with it. And the only reason I got into it was because your dad. And he got me interested, and then I found out more as I, got older and visited more places and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it never would have come to my attention otherwise.
Yeah, and that's the same for me, Vicky. It was really my dad, and now I think it's really telling that story. And the mainstream media is really good at telling the story of mead. So I feel like I have to proclaim the story of Tej and say, hey, it exists. So that's part of my goals.
I'm happy to help to whatever extent that I can on that. So,
Thank
Tej is awesome stuff, and I'd like to see more of it. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, thank you for coming on and everything. And we'll, like you say, let me know if you're going to be getting out and about. And if I'm going to be in the vicinity, I'll be happy to make sure you meet people.
Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely be out as much as I can, if I can.
Well, yeah, I know there's a limit when you run your own business.
Subject to life.
Subject to life and running the business and everything else.
Yeah.
You got minions there yet?
No, it's just really
What?
me.
It's just you? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
like a couple people come and help me. Sergio's brother Mitch has been a great help to me. I learned something new from him every day, to be honest.
Nice.
Mitch is good people.
It's good to have people like Sergio and Mitch in my corner, and my family as well. I learned from them. I can call back home, and if I have questions about certain things, my aunt and other family members really help me out.
Yeah, you need to tell Sergio he needs to serve you Tej in his restaurants.
Yeah.
He's got two of them now, so
Yeah. Yeah. definitely one of the things we've been talking about.
I'll have to poke him. Hey, you got Tej in your restaurant, Sergio? I really want to know.
It goes really well with Italian food.
It goes really well with Italian food. That's right. Absolutely. No question about it. So this is cool. I'm stoked. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for the opportunity.
This is great.
Yeah, it's my first time doing something like this, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, when you're at the point where you want to talk more about like the down and dirty on Tej recipes, you know, when you got more of your feet under you and all that kind of thing, you let me know. Because I can guarantee you an audience for that, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You're the first person I would actually want to talk to about when I have the opportunity.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that. But yeah, this has been really cool, and I'm enjoying this, and I'm absolutely not drinking any more of this tonight. I'm gonna send the bottle over there. So. you need to come out what you need to come out with a session level, man.
Yeah, something a little easier, right?
Yeah, something easier to drink. Yeah, this stuff will kick your butt at 13.5%. So
yep, exactly.
Yeah. But for those of you who haven't seen, the label on this is really cool. It's just got the name Saba Tej, but it's got this really cool bee with a crown and the sun, and it's all very colorful, and it looks really awesome.
Yeah, we recently rebranded in the last year, actually.
Okay. Did I get one of the? Is this one of the rebrands or the old ones?
It's the new one.
Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to use the more traditional colors, keep that green, yellow, red alive, but give it more like a warmth feel, and really make it more contemporary.
Mm-hmm. It's still got that. It's still got that feel to it, though.
Right. That we're keeping that African feel to it, but a little more modern, and it's more of like a family base. We hired a company to really rebrand it. For our logo, we actually used traditionally in Ethiopia we drink out of a flask called the Brille, and so our logo we used the Brille and we put a bee in it.
That's what that is.
Yeah, we put the Brille with the bee inside, and it's supposed to have leaves that resemble a geisha plant.
Okay.
Yeah, so
interesting.
Something new. Yep.
Yeah, I think it evokes Ethiopia perfectly.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
The colors are spot on. So I mean, that's just, and I love the sun and the crown. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, we used so Saba is traditionally the Queen of Sheba's name was Saba, so we kind of named it after Queen of Sheba. And then Aksum is one of the oldest civilizations known to mankind. So we named the one Tej after Aksumite, which was the city.
Okay.
To give a little tradition to both SKUs. And then for the actual print that's on the label, the Aksum has the flower, which is supposed to resemble like a wildflower for the honey. And then the crown on the Saba is supposed to resemble, it's supposed to talk about Queen of Sheba, and then it's a blossom to resemble orange blossom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. The symbology is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did good. Your dad would be proud.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I know he's smiling from the great beyond at you, so.
Thanks. That's the goal.
Yeah. Well, I think he would be proud.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. At some point, I want to meet you in person.
Yes, definitely. Hopefully at one of these
upcoming events.
Yes.
Yeah. we've got the year, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's a new year. Thank God.
It is. Yeah, thank God. And don't anybody say I got this. Just don't. Let's just go one day at a time.
That's it. Yeah, that's my favorite saying. One day at a time.
One day at a time. Yeah, that's it. Every step is a step. So, but yeah, let's definitely plan on, getting together, but I will take and share your stuff. Either send extra bottles with your stuff to Valks or send them to me. It doesn't matter, whichever. And we'll make sure that they get spread around.
We'll do. Sounds good.
Yeah, folks can get to try what a real Tej tastes like. So
great. Yeah, that's all I'm looking for is the opportunity to have everyone taste it.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Not a problem.
Great.
Good deal. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys for having me. I will email you, Vicky, with some more info. I'll definitely send over some links. And
okay, cool. I'll get those posted up so folks can check them out.
Great, and I'll get the package out tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you got to do that for Valks because your deadline's Friday.
First thing on Thursday morning. Please definitely go to the post office.
Yeah, don't forget.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you have a good one. Try not to work too hard tomorrow, Kiru.
Good night.
Have
a good one.
Take care.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
So next coming up, okay, so you heard us talking about it. Valkyrie's Horn entries need to be in by Friday, February 14th. So if you have not sent your entries, get your butt in gear and send your entries. If you have not entered yet, what's wrong with you? Enter the comp. Get your meads out there. Oh my God! So
do it quick because
you're out of time.
Only got 4 spots. 4 spots left.
Oh God, 4 spots left. Y'all just get going, man. So yeah, 4 spots left, and they're in the middle of the country, so it's like 2-day ship from either side. So tomorrow is it. Get them in there.
We do have a little extra room in the commercial side, but the home side is almost completely full.
Yeah. So yeah. And if you're a commercial meadery who hasn't entered yet, why haven't you entered yet? Go ahead and get on in there.
I'd like to add too, for anyone who is thinking they might make the trip, whether you're local or, coming in from around the country, we do have a lot of stuff planned for everybody. We really take care of our volunteers. This year,
they do.
We have 2 meads made for our commemorative meads, which go out to the volunteers, both of which are featuring chocolate as part of their ingredient base.
Yay.
And in fact, one of them is using dark Miombo honey from Africa.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So if you're a volunteer, you'll get a bottle.
Awesome sauce. It's a great comp. And somewhere I got the hiccups. This is what happens when you drink 3/4 of a bottle of mead.
Right.
I don't know what I was thinking. I just kept pouring more, and I was like, "Oh wait."
Well, you were thinking this tastes pretty good. I need something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I was
really
like, and then I looked and
easy.
saw how little was left, and I was like, "Crap, this is gonna hurt."
How about that?
Yeah.
Luckily, you don't have to drive.
No, I do not have to drive, and tomorrow there won't be any driving because we're going to be getting blizzed out. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so lots of stuff coming up. We're working on the guesting. Beginning of the year is always tough because I always blow off December and don't get enough done. But we're working on getting the guest thing up and being able to tell you guys that ahead of time. And I'm going to start putting that up on the events thing on the Got Mead Facebook page. Meanwhile, though, February 12th, Cloud City Modern Mead in Leadville, Colorado has a mindfulness meetup. February 12th, Artifice Ales and Mead in Manheim, Pennsylvania has Brews and Brushes, a Valentine's date night. February 12th, Green Mountain Mashers, Essex Junction, Vermont. This is Kyle Ducharme's crowd. They're doing Mead Series Part 2, Fruit Meads. You definitely want to check that out. All of these links are on the episode page, so you can click right through to them. February 13th, Hierophant Meadery, Freeland, Washington. Mead and chocolate pairing class with Sweet Mona's Chocolate. February 14th, Brothers Drake Meadery, Columbus, Ohio, Mead and Chocolate Flight. February 13th, Kingview Mead, Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, Good Brother Earl, live music. February 14th, Starlight Mead, Pittsburgh, North Carolina, mead and chocolate. February 15th, the 4U Brewing Supplies in Terre Haute, Indiana has a mead competition. February 16th, St. Ambrose Meadery in Beulah, Michigan has Be Mine, B-E-E, mead and cheese pairing with the cheese lady. I'm going to see if John will take me to that. February 18th, Guam Mead and Cider, Ann Arbor, Michigan has Babies and Brew, Toys and Story Time. I read that as Babes and Brew when I first saw it. I was just like, oh, God, what are they doing there? But Babies and Brew. It's so toys and story time, and let the adults relax and the kids have fun. February 19th, Kingview Mead, Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, has a trivia night. And on February 20th, Kingview Mead, Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, also has Day 1 live acoustic music. February 22nd, Sons of Vikings in Chesapeake, Virginia, has a mead tasting with meads from Breezy Hill Mead Works. February 23rd, the Great Minnesotan Mead Tour, I want to say A at the end of that, in St. Paul, Minnesota. 3 meaderies, tasting flights, charcuterie, and lunch. That sounds like so much fun. February 26th, Kupka's Be Good Meadery in Auburn, Indiana, has a mead makers night. February 28th is the European Mead Makers Conference in Krakow, Poland. I wish I could go, but next year. March 1st, Doggone Bees Apiary and Meadery in Hanover, PA, has a mead making class. March 1st, Grimsby Hollow Meadery in Middleville, Michigan, has Drink Mead Learn Things Fantasy Drawing Workshop. It'd be really great for people who can draw. I can't draw. So, I get on to watch other people draw, but I can't draw. March 1st, Four Brothers Mead, Festus, Missouri, has 3 Pints Gone live music. Great band name, by the way. March 5th, Kingview Mead, Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, has trivia night. And then on the 6th, they have Cover 2 live music. March 7th, Bumbling Fools Mead, Minneapolis, Minnesota, has a Viking Mead Tour party bus. Y'all know how to throw a bash out there, Kev.
I guess. I had no idea.
Well, you best go check it out, dude. Tell us how
I
it's
might
going.
be a little busy. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right in the middle of that, isn't it? God, what were they thinking?
Yeah, they were not thinking. That's exactly
no, they weren't. My God, I just realized the date on that going, oh, my God. Okay, March 8th, Starlight Mead, Pittsburgh, North Carolina, has a mead and food pairing experience. March 10th, Happy Butts Honey, Butts. I love it. Watertown, South Dakota, mead making workshop. And I don't know where that is in relation to Tom, but I wonder if Tom's involved with that. March 15th, Doggone Bees Apiary. Kevin is losing it. Doggone Bees Apiary Meadery, Hanover, PA, has a mead making class. March 22nd, the Great Minnesotan Mead Tour in St. Paul, Minnesota. 3 meaderies, tasting flight, charcuterie, and lunch. And then April 12th, the Great Minnesotan Mead Tour, also in St. Paul. 3 meaderies, tasting flights, charcuterie, and lunch. So support your local meadery. If you have no local meadery, I'm sad for you, but you can go to shopmeads.com and get meads from all over the country. And there's some amazing ones there, and you should check them out. And of course, if you want to get your event on Got Mead Live, let us know at gotmead@gotmead.com, and we will be happy to broadcast it for you. In the meantime, be excellent to one another, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Night, everybody.
Night, all.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Broadcasting live from Youngville, North Carolina and Ontario, Canada. This is Got Mead Live, a weekly show where